Hello everybody, it's day one of the 100-day project and I want to show you what I'm planning to do for this 100 days. I've chosen to do 100 days of mixed media charms and clusters, and this is an example of one of the ones that I made in a class that I took with Amy Bishop. This is a charm, this is a cluster, really not much difference in them except for how you would attach them. This is another cluster. So that's what I'm going to be doing this time. I have been collecting materials that I'm going to be using in this project. Some of them I've, made over the course of the last few days or weeks, and I made this with it was a mixture that Amy taught us to use, that is plaster of Paris, matte medium, and gesso, and you mix it together and you apply it onto lace or a doily, and it goes through the doily and ends up on papers that I'm also going to be using. So this is an example of what it looks like when you apply this plaster of Paris mixture through the lace. This has got some lace on it too. So anyway, I've got the papers. I have fabric that I've gessoed through too. Also, some of these will be cut up and used in the clusters and the charms. So I have book parts that I get from House of Books when they take their books apart and they give you just pieces of the book parts. I'm a little bit not organized and not speaking quite as clear as I would like to be, but anyway, I hope you're going to get the message. These are some shells that I have to use. These are pieces of sea glass. I have some red balls that I got from BB Henry, and I've got a bag of buttons somewhere, but I couldn't put my hands on it before this. I also have pieces of leather that I'm going to be using, and just general fabrics that I've stained. So let's get down to I've also got some wood. I have some driftwood. I have some sticks from my yard. I have some that I've already kind of decorated that'll be used for hangers. So let's get started. This is not going to be a 5-minute video, just so you know. Okay, so I thought I had something in mind, but who knows what I'll end up doing. But I think I'm going to start with this piece of fabric, and I'm going to try to tear it, but it's got the plaster Paris mixture on it, which may prevent it from tearing all the way, but did okay that direction. So let's see if I can get it to do it in the other direction too. Okay, so that's out of the way. I'm going to put those out of my way because I'm not going to have a lot of room to work with. But what I want to do is I want to take the top part, I think, and use it for this charm. I've got a piece of wire that I have, that I've made a circle out of. I've got somewhere, again, I'm not putting my hand on it, I have a spool of rusted wire. Anyway, I've got one that's already made, and I want to it's a little bit big. Let me cut it down some. Okay, I wanna take this and wrap it around this rusty wire. And I have a needle that's already threaded. I want to stitch this on. So I'm going to come up from the back. You could come up from the front if you want your, I've knotted it if you want your, well, I've also taken it off my needle. So let me try that again. And I threaded it because I didn't want to do it on camera, so we'll try it again. I've got 3 strands of embroidery floss here. All right, I'm gonna stop it. Okay, I'm back. I've got a knot on the end of my embroidery floss, and there, like I said, there are 3 strands. You could come up from the, you could start on the front and use the knot itself as part of your design, but I'm going to come up from the back, making sure that I've got the fabric, which I don't. Well, yeah, I did. Fabric and around the wire. So I'm going to, maybe I'll do a cross stitch. And believe me, these are not going to be perfect little cross stitches. They're going to be just whatever happens. I'm not in this for perfection. I think I'll do 3 of them. With this plaster of Paris, when I go through that, it's hard. It's hard to sew it. It's also hard. The plaster's hard. Okay, let's see. Try not to unthread my needle. And the last one, I'm concentrating too much, so not having much to say. Okay, so I'm going to tie it off with a knot. I'm not usually this clumsy, but when I'm stitching, but I'm a little bit out of practice being on camera, so forgive me. And if I get out of frame, forgive me for that too. So, okay, now I'm just going to cut this, and I'll leave a little bit of a tail. Okay, so there's this little, the first part of it. And let's see what else we're going to do. Maybe a piece of paper. Got this piece of paper that's got a little bit of blue on it, which I think would look nice. And I'm going to take a ruler. I learned this little trick from Autumn Moon. You take a wooden ruler and you, well, I don't think, oh, this one is. And you take an X-Acto knife or some kind of a blade and you rough it up so that when you tear it, it is more of a little bit of a decollete edge, if you can see that. Okay, so I've got this piece of paper that I think I'm going to tear off a little bit more. I'm going to take some glue. Some of our Fabri-Tac, which you've seen me use before. Hopefully it's going to work. I haven't used it lately. Not sure if I can get it top off. May have to use something else until I can get this. Okay, I'm going to use this 3-in-1 if this works. I'm having a little trouble getting the top off. Okay, so now let's see if it will squeeze out. Yay. Okay, so put a little dab of that on there, and I'm going to put this down a little bit off center. Okay, sorry about that. I have some dyed cheesecloth. I believe this was dyed using coffee. I'm going to take a piece of that. It's not going to tear. Okay, have a piece of that. Maybe too much of a piece. I'll try to be better organized next time. I don't know if I will actually record every day, but I will record several anyway. Okay, this is a piece of book parts. I'll take a piece of that, kind of rough it up a little bit more than it already was. Put that under the cheesecloth. And what I was looking for when I stopped the video was a rusted safety pin. I had some that I had already rusted, and I'm not exactly sure where they are. It's like everything disappeared on me. But these are some that I'm currently rusting, so this one is not as rusted, but it's good enough. And, you know, be careful, obviously, when you're using these, not to stick yourself because it's rust. Haven't caught it yet. Okay, so straighten this out a little bit. Maybe need a little bit more glue on this part. Okay, so there is my mixed media charms and clusters. This is what something like this is what I'll be creating during these 100 days. So thank you for watching, and please come back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be better organized. So have a good evening or a morning or whenever it is you're watching this. Bless you.